Okay, you guys, so this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to watch the Biophysicist explain the science behind Rick and Morty. You guys know I'm a huge Rick and Morty fan. So, let's see what we get. Shout out to AK.
My name is James Bodeker. I'm a professor of physics, astronomy, and biology at the University of Southern California. As a physicist, really one of your goals is to understand kind of the fundamental laws of the universe. And I'm pretty familiar with Rick and Morty. I'm a big fan of cartoons in general. And Rick and Morty is definitely one of the more science-y cartoons out there.
Who cares about the thing you guys are talking about? The whole point of freezing time was to stop giving a f.
In the episode Rickle in Time, Rick decides to stop time, and as a result, there ends up being multiple timelines at which Rick, Morty, and his sister exist. And this brings up a very interesting area of physics. Is there even a possibility of there being a multiverse? After the Big Bang, there's kind of an exponential rate at which the universe increased in size. Because it's increasing at such an enormous rate, there might be multiple very similar universes that kind of coexist and maybe on sort of different timelines. Is it possible to move between timelines? These sort of abnormalities in the space-time continuum, wormholes, like would it be possible to go into a wormhole and somehow come out? Kip Thorne, who just won the Nobel Prize in Physics for gravity waves, he postulated that even if a wormhole were to exist, it would basically disappear as soon as it appeared. There's certainly not strong evidence, things like hopping between universes.
Can you imagine that? Winning a Nobel Prize for your work on gravity waves, and he postulated about wormholes, that they would disappear as soon as they appeared. I mean, what kind of genius can you be to know this kind of stuff? What? This is crazy. This is why I laugh, because when you watch Rick and Morty, you almost like have this air of, yeah, I watch Rick and Morty, so I'm so smart. It's like you almost feel that way, but no, it's still a cartoon. So just the fact that a biophysicist watches it for just enjoyment, because he enjoys cartoons, but he's actually putting some theory behind this, is super cool. I feel like he might be Rick in another dimension.
Or even traveling through time are possible.
Jerry Marie, you created a daycare for my...
See, I swear. You guys probably could hear it, but I can't hear it. That's why I need to get headphones. These, I think, are dying or dead now. Let's go. I love this one. This is where they have like a babysitting center in another dimension just for Jerry, because Jerry's such a goofball and Rick can't stand him. I probably have seasons 1 through 4 memorized.
Hopping between universes or even traveling through time are possible.
Jerry Marie, you created a daycare for my dad?
In the episode Morty Night Run, they drop Jerry off at this Jerry Daycare where all these Jerrys from different realizations of the universe get together in their watch so that Rick and Morty can go have fun somewhere else. I mean, that brings up kind of an interesting thought. Even if there are multiple worlds, would you even end up with a lot of Jerrys? On one hand, you would say Jerry seems like such a unique being that events that would have happened through the history of that whole universe to end up with there being a Jerry are very unlikely. But you kind of have to juxtaposition that with the sense that because there's so many multiverses, even if only in a very small fraction of them there might be a Jerry, there's certainty that, there's 20 Jerrys in existence and they're all slightly different from each other.
Yes.
I came here accidentally through a wormhole located in what you call the Promethean Nebula.
In the episode, there's this gaseous being that is some sort of alternative form of life that appears not to be carbon-based. Thinking about what alien life might look like, people also think about, how might have life...
I thought all life was carbon-based, though. Maybe
actually evolved on Earth. Speculation about the earliest forms of life, carbon wasn't necessarily involved. And certainly when you think about, what aliens might look like, there's no strong reason to think they would necessarily be carbon-based. There's no important features of life that involve carbon. They could be some sort of gaseous clouds. If life does exist elsewhere,
my headphones are totally jacking up. I think I'm hearing him wrong, but I really thought carbon was the basis for all life. Like, if there is any alien life outside, obviously, of Earth, it would have to have some kind of I have to live, right? I mean, to just be. Who am I? Who am I to freaking rival a biophysicist who knows so much? But anyway, I'm going to stop it here only because now I have to go look this up. And not just that, but my headphones are acting weird. So I'm going to put this link of this genius man speaking about Rick and Morty in the description of the video. Okay? I'm so sorry. I'm just going to go buy some headphones right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. That's why I haven't done more videos. That and being outside. I just can't stand the... Can you guys hear the... I feel like maybe aliens are coming down from space because there's like some kind of... I hear disruptions in the sound. And when you listen to music or people speaking, you don't want to hear that. So let me know if you guys can hear it too. Watch. I'll keep letting it play. Tell me if you guys can hear it. It's interference. That's what it's called.
That it wouldn't necessarily resemble what we know as life on our planet in any way.
Don't move. Gonorrhea can't see us if we don't move.
In the episode Anatomy Park, Morty...
He mistakes it with a T-Rex. They're making fun. This was a spoof on... Do you see how they do a lot of spoofs on Jurassic Park? So Anatomy Park was a spoof on Jurassic Park. And also at the same time, Inner Space. So he shrinks Morty, puts Morty into this homeless man, and that gonorrhea was supposed to, the scientist was saying, don't move, gonorrhea can't see us if we don't move. Really, that was supposed to be something that a T-Rex, like the T-Rex can't see you if you don't move. So anyway, do you see how they do a lot of like parodies on things? Not that I'm trying to stick up for anybody or anything. But anyway, did you guys hear the interference or is it just me? How much longer do I have? Only like... I'll play it all the way through. Just because.
Morty's actually shrunk and he goes inside another human being to this amusement park that exists there called Anatomy Park. It seems somewhat physically impossible. You'd have to change the size of atoms. Like, could you breathe air that was normal size atoms or would it have to be smaller atoms?
Tuberculosis coming in fast!
When they went into the lungs, they actually saw Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which, you know, the way they present it is actually somewhat accurate. A third of the world's population is actually infected with tuberculosis, but a lot of times it's asymptomatic for very long periods of time. And that, you know, not only in biology,
Sadly,
but also in chemistry and things like nanoscience, we're able to construct things that exist on very small scales, even smaller than a cell. I mean, now we're talking about things that might be nanometer, which is 1,000 times smaller than a cell. People are now, even in our lab, are making nanomaterials, things like quantum dots, things like very tiny wires that are only tens of nanometers in diameter.
They're making cameras like that. I mean, pretty soon how is it not possible? People are saying they're making cameras that are able to go into our bodies and we don't even know. It's part of medicine. They do that now. Cameras that are able to go in so the doctors can see exactly what's wrong with the inside of you, your intestine, your stomach, things like that. And they're saying that there's cameras that we can't even see with the naked eye that are just floating around now. Do you guys hear it or is it just me? And I've charged these darn headsets. Anyway, I'm going to stop. You guys just check the link in the description and listen to it beautifully yourselves. I'm going to leave right now and go get a good pair of headphones over at the music store in Visalia. Because we don't have a really good one here. Unless somebody DMs me and tells me, yeah, there is one. I'm going to the music store. The one where they had the Rush dolls, the 3. Anyway, bye. I'm going. Bye, you guys.